What's up, guys? Welcome back to the next video, and today we're going to continue finishing up pulling the motor on the WRX. And last we left off, we didn't do anything, but we're probably about like halfway there. And we got parts here. We got an OEM gasket kit here from Subaru themselves. Kind of pricey, but there's the part number if you need it. Should include everything. Then I got some fog lights because both of them are busted, and I even brought them somewhere so they have PPF on them now, so hopefully they don't get busted, because those things are glass, that's why. And we have a stage 1 competition clutch. This clutch used to be in my car when I first got it, and I actually really loved how it felt. And then about a few years ago, right around the time I had the car wrapped, the clutch went out, and I put a ACT in it, and I just wasn't happy how it felt, and I knew this was the clutch that was in it. So this clutch is probably on its way out. When I rebuilt it last year, I probably shouldn't put the ACT back in. I was told not to, but it drove good for a solid year. So we just bought this one. We're gonna put it in and hopefully get that feel I want back from the clutch, because I really enjoyed how this one felt. But I did put a braided clutch line in when I did the clutch a few years back, so it might not feel exactly the same, but it's more of the hook of the clutch that I liked better of this one, because the other one, it would just slip it if I was like trying to do a launch or just trying to do a pull on, like, it would slip the clutch so hard and you'd smell all of the clutch, and it's just not a good feeling. But let's keep tearing down the WRX. Also, if you haven't seen the last video, I feel like we made this car ugly. They fit. I'm not like happy about it, but they clear the Brembos. I got Subaru logo on it, and they clear the coil over, so it's just like not hot at all. Alright, so today I think we're gonna start off with like the simplest thing possible, just to get me started. Yeah, I gotta unbolt this bracket and then undo the just pull it back, and then this whole part should disconnect from this side of the bulk harness. Probably 210 mils, 14 or 12s, but yeah, it shouldn't be that hard. Let's take that off real quick. Can't see the other one. Oh no, lost it. Where'd it go? Alright, that's disconnected. Oh man. Well, we'll find it later. I'll put that back in its home. Alright, just like that. Just like that, the whole harness is removed from the car. Crazy to think that it just works just like that. Alright, now I'm gonna see if I can get all these bolts off the downpipe. It might not be the most fun thing because it's the exhaust, but we'll see if we can figure it out. We got that one started. Oh, no. What? What do you mean? Alright, only 4 or 5 more to go. Alright, there's 2 of them out. Trying that. I don't like how loose that one was, but it's coming out. side. There's another one right there. There might be one more at the bottom. Oh man. But surely we will get this off. Maybe. Oh yeah, there we go. Got that nut off. Looks like the stud stayed in there, so hopefully that's not a problem later. There might be one more nut or stud underneath the exhaust that I can't see, so we'll see if we can get that one. If not, we might be 100% free on the top side, and we'll have to pull from about from the middle where the cat is at, and then we should be good with the downpipe. All right, I did some feeling around, and it looks like there's one like right here, but that one is already missing a nut, so I guess the downpipe is free. That's a problem. Just grab all these bad boys, hold it in there, and take that out. Boom, exhaust out of the way. Alright, now we gotta disconnect the exhaust from rot tire, and the whole downpipe should be free essentially. Alright, let's take care of this one. Might have to jack up the car a little bit. No, metal rest in my eye. Oh my god, the shit's in my eye. Oh, there's one of them. Ow. That nut just fell on my face. Alright, we got the second one. Now the downpipe is completely free. Well, you don't fall on me. This thing ain't gonna fall on me because I got this bolt right here, and then I have an O2 sensor I need to take out. I don't mind that, that's nothing, it's just a heat rip, but yeah, I gotta take that out or unplug it before I can take it out. Ka-chow! We got the O2 harness, and then I kind of just came back here, and there's the plug for it. Here's the other side, but that was pretty easy. All right, hopefully we just impact that 14 mil that's left on the exhaust that I just showed you guys, and then hopefully the whole downpipe comes off. Hopefully, and then we're actually gonna pause there, and I'll continue tomorrow morning. Alright, that's free. Oh. There we go. Holy shit. Didn't think this part through. It's kind of just sitting on me now. You ever just want to lay on the car, like lay under the car and just, you know, it's where I'm at right now. It's the exhaust is just kind of laying on me, you know. Should hit. Oh. Alright. We got it. Alright. Let's fucking go. I don't know, she still looks pretty fresh. I think we could reuse it. Alright guys, we're gonna pick this video back up tomorrow. So yep, I'll see you guys then. Alright guys, it's the next day. Today I brought in some shop towels so I can plug up the intake, the throttle body section, and part of the turbo, so that way nothing gets in it. I've been meaning to do that, but every time I come work on this car, I kind of just forgot shop towels. I just figured they would be here, and then they're not here, and I'm like, damn. This one's a bit harder to see, but That's in there, so nothing gets in. And we block up one on the intercooler side on the turbo. Alright. So yesterday when I was underneath the car taking off the downpipe, as you guys seen, it was a bit tight under there. I'm definitely gonna have to jack the car up more, so that way I have an easier time reaching these bell housing bolts. So let's get that in, and then once I get those in the motor mounts, I should be able to lower the car. Should be able to lower the car back on the ground and do everything from the top and yank the motor out. All right, let's get to it. So looking at all this, here's one of the trans bolts to bolt it to the engine. Let's see. Yeah, you can see that little line right there, and it goes all the way across. That is one of the bolts that we're gonna need to grab, and then there should be 4 more on this side. 2 around the starter right there, and then 2 on the bottom. And let's see, I got a 14. We're gonna take this dipstick out because it's in the way. Couldn't get it, so I got a small breaker bar. It's huge. Alright, there's 1 out of 8. Alright, so I got another one right here. It's really hard to get to. I can barely fit a socket on it. There's another one. Then, while we're already over here, the starter's here. Here's one of the other ones. We're gonna take that one out. We can't reach the bottom side one, but when we're under the car, we'll get that. Here's one of the starter bolts. There's 2 down. Alright, there's 3 out of the 8. Alright, so we just pulled those 3 bolts out. And here's another thing I like to do. This one was the first one I pulled out, so this one's on the top. This one was underneath the turbo, the one we just did. And then this one was to the starter. So I got this piece of cardboard. I'll show you what I mean on how to keep these in order, because since these are around the bell housing, it'll be easier to keep track. So I'm gonna draw this all up on the piece of cardboard and show you what I mean. Since all these bolts are different sizes, they kind of need to be in their specific spot, so I'll show you what I do for that. So we got like this little octagon like shape for the bell housing. Alright, we're gonna label this side starter, and then all of these corners are like different spots for bolts. There's one right here, here for the starter, and there should be one here, 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 and here. And we're just gonna take these bolts and put them in their corresponding spots. So this is the first one I pulled out. We're just gonna take this real quick. And then this is the first one I pulled out. I'm just gonna do that. Same with this one. Here's the starter bolt I pulled out. There we go. So now we know where they all go, corresponding to their bell housing spot. So we'll just put this to the side, or just let it lay here until we get the rest of them out. Yeah, so that's just something I learned to do when I started working on cars. Found it pretty helpful when I came to times when I didn't do that. So it's definitely helpful to do that and help you keep special bolts in track of where they need to be, because if all those bolts are different size, they definitely need to stay in their home or in their spot where they usually go. All right, we got 5 more bolts underneath the car. I'll try to record it as best as I can to my ability, because it is not easy recording under the car. So we're underneath the car. This is the turbo side. I got the bolt right there and that one right there, and then this side will be free. And we go to the other side. We got that one on the starter. We got one right there, and then the other one right there, and then that should be it for all these. Just broke the other starter loose. 4 more. While we're out from underneath the car, we're just gonna put these other ones in here. Alright, got all of them out except for this one and that one. Unfortunately, the axles are in the way, so I gotta use a swivel, and hopefully these ones aren't too hard to pull out. Alright, so those bottom 2, that should be right here, are actually on studs, so I just put the nuts on the bottom bolts that I had. They're in place of these 2, but since I got them on the back of these, they should be, I essentially should remember, but we'll see about that later on. And yeah, pretty helpful tip, I think. All right, next we're gonna take out these engine mount bolts, just 2 bolts, real simple, and then we can finally put the car back on the ground. All right, let's get this one moved out of the way. Here's our engine mount. Here's the bolt that's keeping it in. All right, there we go. Now that we finally got all that taken care of, we got the engine mounts off and the trans mounts, or the bell housing bolts out, we can lower the car now. Gosh, it's such a funny and weird feeling when your car's been on jack stands for a minute and then it just feels like you're so much taller than it. We're not too far away from getting the rest of the stuff done. I need to yank the starter out. It should just be the positive and the ground attached to it, and it should just come out. We got fuel lines and then the power steering, and then I think we're free. I was able to get the ground off without the wrench. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Oh, alright. Alright, the starter is free. Just like that, we got me a starter. Now we just need to get this and take these off. I was looking at them earlier, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get the clamps on, because this little bracket, it doesn't come off, it's just a part of it, so might have to just undo it from right here, as much as I don't want to. But it's just really hard to get the tool in here. There's too much going on. But yeah, we'll take that off, and we might do that tomorrow. We'll start day 3. I just have so much time before I have to go to work. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, what's up, guys? We're on day 3 now, and we're gonna tackle the power steering pump. Let's just dig right into this. So I believe the power steering pump is 1 bolt right there and another one right here. I don't see anywhere up top because there's too much going on, but should just be able to take those 2 bolts off and it should come right off. Alright, there's those front 2 bolts. Bolt right there. Yeah, really hard to see, but let's get that one off. Alright, there's all our power steering bolts. Alright, so I could only find one zip tie. If I had another one, I'd probably zip tie it here to like here or here. So that way we can keep these lines away from the motors, because when we pull it up, it's gonna probably want to push these out of the way or so. But well, we're gonna put a towel here, so that way, just in case this moves over, it doesn't hit or chip any paint. Alright, so lastly, I think this is the last thing I need to get out or off of the car. But so like, this is the tool you would usually use, or there's plenty of sizes, but this probably isn't the right size. But honestly, there's just not enough room to get this section in this, because with this right here, this whole bracket is kind of prohibiting from me getting any of this tool onto it. I think what we're gonna do is just undo these like T-clamps, and then we should be able to just easily take this clamp off and pull this back. Alright, so I had a really bad time pulling all this off, but pretty much as I said, just undo that clamp, pull it back from that one, and then covered that up because it smells like gas, and then, you know, just pulled that off there. And then same thing with the bottom one, pulled it off from down there. I'm just gonna keep these fuel lines a part of the engine, because these are a nightmare. If you know, you know. Now the motor should be 100% free. Let's see how far we can get it out. So with the engine leveler, we'll take like this, and then we're gonna use like this AC spot, this AC bolt, and just bolt it down there, or maybe over here. Same with this one, we'll probably put it in the power steering bolts. We got that back there that I usually use for the back side. Not sure what I usually bolt to on that side, but usually I figure it out. If not, it's not maybe super needed, but I think three of these on the motor should do the job pretty well. Alright, so I got a bolt there, and I got 2 of them here for the leveler. I was gonna put this one more over here, but there wasn't enough slack on the chain to hit that side and this side. I only have one on this side. I was gonna put one on that side, but I was taking that there's a bolt. I was taking that bolt out and I dropped it. So I think 3 will have to do, and let's see how much we can get it. So I'm not sure how much of a normal thing this is to do, but I remember seeing somebody else do it, and I've done it. But usually some people at least, will take like a screwdriver and split the transmission from the engine with like a screwdriver and a mallet, pretty much just creating the tension between the engine and the transmission, or at least getting space so that way it'll come forward easier, and so it's not like rust welded together. But let's keep getting at it. Now you can see this crack is just kind of making itself between the transmission and the motor, and we should be able to start being able to pull the motor a little forward now. Alright, fast forward, got it out. I did break this ground wire. I'll have to redo that or see if I can get a new one. That sucked. Yeah, that motor was really fighting me. Good thing good guy Tim came over, the neighbor. Got this done in like 2-hour intervals for 3 days straight. But yeah, thanks for watching, and stick around for the next video.